All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a pretty fantastic behind-the-scenes moment from one of the most diverse football clubs on the planet, Paris Saint-Germain. We're going to see how the squad comes together off the pitch to celebrate Eid. It's honestly just a great look at the camaraderie, the humor, and those shared cultural moments that really bond a team of international superstars. We've got games, we've got blind taste tests, and, well, a whole lot of laughs to get through today.
So here's a question for you. How do global football stars actually celebrate their cultural traditions together? It's kind of a fascinating question, right? Because when you have a locker room completely packed with players from every corner of the globe, you might wonder how they bridge those cultural gaps. Well, they do it by bringing everyone to the table, literally. In this Explainer, we're hanging out with the players behind the scenes for some food, some incredibly chaotic interactive games, and some top-tier team bonding. You're going to see a completely different side of these guys when they aren't out there chasing a football.
Okay, let's get into Section 1, Le Jeu des Devinettes, or guessing games with the squad. To kick off the Eid celebrations, the players are thrown straight into a guessing game. And I've got to tell you, sheer comedic confusion happens almost immediately under the pressure. They're given clues and have to guess different countries. Sounds simple enough, right? But, when you take a highly competitive group of guys and they're all shouting over each other trying to be the very first to answer, it gets chaotic so fast. At one point, they have to guess a country that starts with a specific letter. And out of nowhere, someone just blurts out, Dubai with a T? It's this perfectly hilarious, completely nonsensical moment of locker room banter. They even start playfully debating whether the answer could actually be Qatar. It really just shows you that even the most hyper-focused athletes in the world can get wonderfully flustered during a simple party game. So let's see how their deduction skills hold up with this next one. The riddle presented to the players is this. Which nation did not play in the World Cup? Actually, pause for a second and play along with us. They're told there are lots of countries that play and obviously lots that don't, but they have to narrow it down based on the host's prompts. It's not just a test of their geography, it's a test of their football knowledge, which, you'd really hope they'd be pretty good at. As they're brainstorming, you see them working through a comparison, Morocco versus Algeria. They correctly eliminate Morocco, knowing for a fact they absolutely played in the World Cup. And that logic leads them straight to the correct answer for the riddle, which is Algeria. It's just a great little moment of teamwork where they piece the clues together, shouting out nations left and right until they finally hit the nail on the head. Moving on to Section 2, Dégustation à l'aveugle, the blind taste test. Now, if you really want to test how international a squad's palate is, you blindfold them and start feeding them mystery dishes. This is exactly where the Eid celebration turns into a full-blown culinary adventure. The guys are tasting dishes and desperately trying to pinpoint their geographic origins. We hear guesses ranging all over the map, from Turkish and Tunisian to Indian and even Louisiana. It's a hilarious geographical mix-up, but my absolute favorite moment here is when one player, after taking a guess at the flavor profile, firmly notes that he can't actually be sure because he has literally never set foot in India. It's candid, it's super funny, and it perfectly highlights the diverse cultural exposure, or sometimes lack thereof, within the team. But look, not every dish is a winner here. Elite athletes are honestly just like us. They can be incredibly picky eaters. At one point, someone just says, "What is this? It's bad." You just have to love the blunt honesty there. Because while some of the dishes they tasted were described as absolutely magical, others were met with this immediate, unfiltered rejection. The contrast between the magical bites and the instantly regretted ones makes for some incredibly entertaining reactions. And that brings us to Section 3, Un Message Mondial, Global Unity and Greetings. Beyond all the chaotic guessing games and the totally hit-or-miss blind taste tests, the core of this gathering is actually deeply meaningful. It's about taking a moment to honor a really significant cultural tradition and sharing it with the world. Eid Mubarak Saeed. This is the warm, festive greeting the players exchange with one another and with the fans. Hearing this multilingual, multinational group of players wishing everyone a blessed Eid is genuinely touching. It really emphasizes how these shared cultural moments act as a glue. They bring a diverse team closer together, fostering actual respect and understanding in a locker room that represents so many totally different backgrounds. As the festive celebration wraps up, the players leave the fans with a multilingual call to action, urging viewers to subscribe to the Paris Saint-Germain YouTube channel in both French and Spanish. It's a great reminder of just how global their fan base really is, and a really fun, energetic way to close out their Eid celebration, bringing the viewers right into the PSG family. Which actually leaves me with a final question for you to chew on today. How do you celebrate and share your own cultural traditions with your community? Seeing the Paris Saint-Germain players share their Eid traditions so openly, with so much humor, food, and joy, really shows us the power of inviting others into our customs. It breaks down barriers and it builds real connections. So think about your own traditions. How can you share them to bring the people around you just a little bit closer? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep sharing, and I'll catch you next time.